Breaking news: John McCain did it again. He needs to go now. The biggest traitor in Washington D.C. might be none other than Senator John McCain. Disturbing information continues to emerge about his direct ties to Muslim terrorists and the London bomber, and how he's owned and funded by Saudi terrorists and George Soros. Ever since Trump got into office, McCain has done everything in his power to subvert the President of the United States, which is a federal crime. As McCain continues to garner the sympathy of many Americans who still falsely believe he's a Vietnam War hero, it's time that we finally set the record straight about the unbelievable things McCain did during his time in the military, before McCain dies and nauseating tributes are made about his service in Vietnam. It's important to note that due to McCain's familial ties to high-ranking naval commanders during his time in service, his father and grandfather were both four-star admirals. The majority of McCain's massive catastrophes and scandals in the Navy were completely buried, and his military records sealed. We reported several weeks ago how John McCain was solely responsible for the horrifying atrocity aboard the USS Forrestal aircraft carrier on July 31, 1967, where McCain's cocky maneuver of doing a wet start of his plane would go on to kill 134 sailors, in the deadliest loss of life the Navy has ever seen. But because of McCain's daddy being a four-star admiral, the entire incident was buried, and the Navy never officially put blame on anyone for the tragedy. Astonishingly, McCain would not only be allowed to continue serving in the Navy, but would go on to be responsible for the deaths of numerous other men, in a scandal that has been successfully buried for decades. 3 months after the bloody tragedy on the USS Forrestal aircraft carrier, John McCain was sent on a bombing mission over Hanoi in October of 1967 when he was shot down and captured by the North Vietnamese, where he's go on to be a prisoner of war until 1973. After being released from captivity, McCain would use his power story and veteran status to rise to political prominence, where his image as a Vietnam War hero would go on to propel him to be elected as a United States Senator. But a hero is the last thing that John McCain was or will ever be. What most people don't know is the massive government scandal that McCain helped hide, as he'd go on for decades to tirelessly work to bury stunning information about American prisoners over in Vietnam who, unlike him, didn't return home. Using his position as a senator, McCain would be behind the scenes quietly pushing and sponsoring federal laws that would keep the most damning information about our POWs buried through classified documents.